Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Recently, our friend Avalon left a comment. Hi, Avalon. Thank you so much. The comment that she left was about no contact, and I want to talk about that today. No, Avalon, there is absolutely nothing wrong with neutral curiosity. But I'll tell you, this really got me thinking because I guess, in theory, anytime you draw a really solid line or you put up a wall, you have definitely eliminated the entity from getting over the wall, but you may have also created a scenario where you are now trapped behind the wall. Been hundreds of thousands of absolutely fabulous, enlightened comments, but this one really got me thinking. It actually kind of drove my mind back to when I first started to plan my exit strategy. I think when I initially saw behind the mask, once I realized that what I had been dealing with was not a human love interest at all, but a complete illusion, I was terrified. I was horrified. I was mortified. I could not get my head around it. So, what happened to me was this instant fight or flight instinct. Now, I immediately recognized I couldn't fight it, so flight was my only option. And it wasn't flight like, ooh, I'm out of here. No, it wasn't like that. It was a state of absolutely elevated panic, anxiety. I mean, I just was so locked on mentally to the fact I'm out of here. I mean, at all cost, I was getting out of there. And I was so driven to get out of there, so panicked, so anxious about getting out of there. It was not like I was leaving, it was like I was truly fleeing, running for my life. I was secretive as I planned my exit strategy. It was extremely covert. I had arranged for my sons to help me. I had one son helping me hide money. I had other sons helping me get things to storage. Everything was very, very covert, very secretive. And I was tremendously fearful that he would discover my exit strategy and somehow sabotage it as he had in the past. Now, with that said, I was also lying to him. I did not give up one bit of information about my exit strategy. And when he would ask me, "Are you leaving?" I would reply with, "Of course not, darling. I adore you. I love you. Why would I leave you?" All the while, really working, constantly working to get out of there. Everything I did was about getting out of there. My mind was locked on to nothing other than I have to get out of there. And, it went on over several months, really, as my things were being moved out. But all the while, I felt this tremendous sense of urgency, this sense of panic, this sense of heightened fear that I just needed to get out of there. It was nothing like leaving a normal relationship. Was emotionally broken. I was physically ill. My hair was falling out in clumps. I had this constant, relentless nosebleed. My hands shook most of the time. I was scared to death every moment I spent with Trevor in his house of pain. In fact, as we were approaching the house of pain, I felt sick, like I wanted to throw up. I didn't know anything about narcissism, but was absolutely convinced that I was dealing with some sort of evil spirit, some sort of demonic possession, because that is what I believed I had seen. The day we picked up my last load of things, my son Jacob and I were driving away, and I was looking over my shoulder, looking in the rearview mirror, saying, "Go, Jacob, just go." And he kept saying, "Mom, we're going. It's okay, Mom." And I was very panicked, saying, "Seriously, Jake, get me the hell out of here." And he kept saying, "Calm down, Mom." I was absolutely panic stricken, not leaving a normal relationship, truly feeling like I was fleeing for my life. And yes, it had gotten so bad, I too had suicidal thoughts, which is all too common with victims of narcissistic abuse. Not only was I afraid that he could kill me, but having suicidal thoughts, I had become worried that I too could kill myself. I get free, I get to my home, and I go no contact at social media, on my cell phone, at my email addresses. Absolutely built an immediate impenetrable wall against the narc. I put all kinds of protective measures in place, built a big wall around myself to keep the monster out. But just as Avalon suggested, I most certainly locked myself in and self-imposed isolation on myself. Now untrusting, now quite suspicious of other people. I definitely see where Avalon's coming from with this comment, and I think this is really a very interesting topic, and we've never explored this before, and I certainly want to know your thoughts about this. Very few comments have ever implied that anyone left the narcissist. It's always words like fled, I ran like I was being chased by Satan. So I think when you leave with that heightened sense of panic and fear and anxiety, and you're truly fleeing like you're being chased by Satan, to then arrive at your destination, to go no contact and build the wall, I think the combination is really quite interesting. In fact, I'm really wondering if that's what I've done, if that's what others have done, is actually build a protective force around ourselves that not only keeps evil out, but keeps us locked in. I don't miss that piece of shit. I never think about that piece of shit. I regret ever meeting that piece of shit. I regret the waste of time I invested in that piece of shit. But do I miss it? Do I want it back in my life? God, no. Absolutely not. But removing the creature still leaves the fact that I left feeling like I was fleeing for my life and immediately built a wall around myself, created almost a fortress for emotional security, for financial safety, for physical safety. I was trying to protect every aspect of my life. It wasn't one thing. I mean, he had infiltrated and filthied up every aspect of my life. So every aspect of my life had been under attack. So that's what I was now protecting with this absolute maddening sense of urgency. Like, I need to protect myself. Yeah, I'm just wondering now, a year later, am I suffering from all of that? Because I definitely have self-imposed isolation. Of course, I leave my house, I go out and I do things, but to be honest with you, most of the time I'm away from my home. I just want to go back home. Avalon's comment really made me wonder if I'm still the victim of narcissistic abuse. If all the stress and anxiety and feeling like I fled, feeling like I was running for my life, feeling like I need to build this impenetrable wall, is now what's causing the self-imposed isolation. Now, I've always been a pretty extroverted person, pretty outgoing, and I'm not like that anymore. Many people have said narcissism will change a victim forever. And if self-imposed isolation long-term is going to be the outcome of that change, well, I'm still being affected by the narc. I'm still being manipulated by the narcissist. I guess my question to the collective is, I always felt like Trevor was forcing me into a situation of isolation with him. Now, if that abuse is now leading me to self-isolate, am I actually free of the narc? I really want to hear your thoughts on this, guys. It's my goal that not only me, but every bloody one of you gets free of narcissistic abuse. And I think this is something we should really explore. Guys, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. I love you guys lots. Please leave a comment.